So basically, I started to get to know NACO in 2015 when I started at EBAN, the
Yeah.
company I'm managing director of.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah,
Yeah,
Iban.
and basically we've been going back and forth to each other's conferences and events, and every
Yeah.
time trying to bring speakers and some experts from both sides of the world.
Yeah.
And
Very cool.
that sooner or later then matures, and some deals have been done between the ecosystem. So
Yeah.
yeah, so we try to
Okay.
keep that relationship running.
Awesome. Yeah. So why is it important to connect the ecosystem in Canada with Europe when it comes to the world of investment?
So you know that angel investors, they need to exit sooner or later their investments,
Yeah.
and exiting isn't easy. And when you are a globally oriented angel investor, you're also looking at exit opportunities around the world.
Yes.
And we're trying to support those kinds of angels that are not just happy to be investing locally or in exiting their companies locally,
Yeah.
but they're looking for the best opportunities worldwide and also the best exit pathways worldwide. And we believe that this kind of relationship between what EBAN is doing and what NACO is doing helps our member investors
Yeah.
have probably more successful time in their angel investing.
Yeah. How do you build your community?
Across Europe, angel groups, locally speaking, they are either at a city level or a
Yep.
province or a regional level, and each of them has their own history. So, like NACO, our members are angel groups across all of the European continent
Yeah.
with different stories, but most of them are the following. There's typically a group of like exited entrepreneurs
Yeah.
and people that love technology and they're excited to now invest in the next generation of founders. And those guys usually get together and
Yeah.
they launch a club and then grow it over time. And that is normally how communities are built up in the part of the world I'm from.
Yeah. What are some challenges that you've been seeing or have been facing?
Women in this asset class are
Yeah.
very few.
Yeah.
In the startup world, in Europe, the statistics are a little bit worse, I think, than maybe in Canada or in the
Wow.
US. So we have, at best, 10% as the average participation of women and women-led startups, which is pretty bad. And in the angel communities, it's still a very male-dominated space.
Yeah.
And here we have some members that are a little bit better than others, but again, it's a big problem to be fixed. So they're again around 10 or so percent, even the women investors in the club. So that's a big problem that we're trying to solve and raise awareness, and then develop programs that help women get started and then
Yeah.
stay in the angel communities. So,
Yeah.
so that's something we're trying to tackle. And then the second big problem that many European angel investors are starting to become more and more aware of is, of course, the climate crisis, the environmental challenges we face.
Yeah.
And we're starting to see actually a pretty large increase in investments in sectors like agriculture and food,
Yeah.
which are responsible for a big chunk of the carbon footprint,
Yeah.
but also in mobility, in smart buildings, so in property tech. So it's starting to kind of expand and grow quite quickly as a sector in Europe.
Yeah. So to touch on women, there being such a setback with women in the industry,
Mm.
I've obviously asked tons of successful women that are here today, why they think it is, but I'm curious to know your opinion on why you think that women are not jumping into
Mm.
angel investment or
Mm.
just founding companies.
Mm.
Why do you think that's such a low percentage?
Yeah, there's a couple of answers to that, and
Yeah.
one of them is, it is a very daunting world to get into when you're not really looking like everybody else. So, clubs that are male dominated and only have like very few women have a difficulty in attracting new women members, and that's something that kind
Yeah.
of is reported across, probably also here in Canada.
Yep.
So that's a big reason. Like you're as an angel, you're also looking for that social aspect, and you can't really recognize
Yeah.
yourself in many of those clubs. So that's a big problem. Um, they say, I'm not such a believer of this cause, but they say that women are more risk adverse and less
Mm.
financially independent to act. It's been repeated a little bit all over
Yeah.
in research. I think it could also be a part of the explanation, but what I believe is that women when they invest, they need to really get to the bottom of why it's a good investment
Yeah.
and be informed and be kind of really turning over every stone and checking the details of everything. And
Yeah.
sometimes this is not so easy to do or so typical to do in the angel investment kind of process of investing.
Yeah.
And so they may be like not really confident in making an investment decision, but not so much
Mm.
because of like a risk aversion. I think it's just because of a way to think and process,
Yeah.
the decision.
Yeah. What is the current state of your company now, the business that you're on? And also, what's the trajectory? Like, what's the forecast? What's the goal for you?
Yeah. Well, EBAN has been around for 25 years. This
Yep.
is our 25th anniversary. We've grown the association from zero to about 120 Angel Group as members, and the team as well has grown over the years. But we're now looking to do the following for the future
Yeah.
to help our community be more cross-border, internationally
Mm. Like interconnected a little more.
interconnected. Exactly,
Yes.
that's the word.
You're like interconnected.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
was trying to do it with my hands. I'm
I
Italian, and
got.
I'm like, you got me though. So basically, yeah. So um, platforms, um, deal flow sharing
Yeah.
activities, a lot of relationship and network building between the clubs. That's kind of where we see the future. We believe that angels should be investing internationally.
Yeah.
They being local doesn't cut it anymore. You want to be investing in the best startup around the world that you can source.
Yep.
And we believe that by being a part of associations like NACO, like EBAN, and similar, you can speed up that internationalization process
Yeah.
and find also much better people and groups to work with. So we
Yeah.
want to kind of now focus a lot on that and enabling our community to go international with their deal activity much, much more quicker and easier.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was a
Thank you for your
pleasure.
time.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.